Hi, this is Lakshmi Chaudhry, founder and editor of Splainer.in. I'm the host of What the Happened Here. Today we look at why Delhi is boiling. No, it's not just climate change. Plus, silent layoffs in the India's IT industry, which quietly shed more than 20,000 employees last year. And since it's our Friday edition, we have loads of useful recommendations, a selection of newly released music from around the world, and a heads up on what to watch this weekend on streaming. These are 100% no paisa or influencer involved reccos. On Wednesday, the Mangeshpur area in Delhi recorded an insane temperature of 52.9 degrees centigrade, the highest ever recorded in India, and only 3.8 degrees centigrade lower than the highest temperature ever recorded on Earth in Death Valley, California. Now, it isn't clear if the recorded temperature was an error or truly a sign of climate calamity. The Safdarjung Weather Observatory, which represents Delhi as a whole, registered a maximum temperature of only 46.8 degrees centigrade. Only, I say, as a sign of what is going to be the new normal thanks to global warming. Delhi has since cooled down by the same afternoon thanks to unexpected rains, but the temperatures will most likely go right back up. The Met Department has issued a red alert for a severe heat wave in most parts of North India. So what the is going on here? Part of it is location. Delhi is cursed by smog because of northwesterly winds carrying dust, soot, etc. from the Thar desert. In this case, it was hot winds blowing in from Rajasthan. The other reason is concrete, lots and lots of it. Delhi has lots of pavements, roads and buildings which have replaced green space. So you get something called the urban heat island effect. Building materials are very good at holding in heat. So areas around buildings are warmer. The concrete also prevents nighttime cooling. The buildings, sidewalks, and parking lots block the heat coming from the ground from rising into the sky. The heat instead is trapped at lower levels, which again makes the temperature warmer. Okay, so Delhi already has it bad. Now add El Nino, which always raises temperatures across the world. I'm not going to get into how El Nino works. There's a gift link to our explainer in the description. Suffice to say, it results in warm water spreading across the tropical Pacific Ocean. This releases a large amount of heat into the atmosphere and creates what some call a global warming crisis in miniature. Then, of course, we have global warming itself, the full-blown kind. According to a recent study, the heat index in the biggest 6 metros in India has been shooting up for the past 2 decades. The index tells you how hot you actually feel, which is a combination of both temperature and humidity. If you look at just the average summer temperature of the 6 cities, it increased by 0.01 degrees centigrade. But the average heat index jumped by 0.8 degrees centigrade. That's 80 times faster. The only bit of good news is that El Nino is on its way out. But for now, the weather forecast remains hot, real damn hot. According to a leading IT employee union, at least 20,000 jobs were cut in silent layoffs in the 2024 fiscal year. But the actual number could be higher. So what are silent layoffs? That's when a company gives an employee 30 days to find a new role with the same company. If they can't do it, then they have to voluntarily resign. It's the worst kind of corporate bullying. If the employee refuses to leave, they receive a termination notice, which hurts their job prospects. Those who do comply have to sign NDAs to get their full payout. The quiet downsizing also hurts those who still have a job. According to the unions, they're being made to work 14 to 16 hours every day, up from 10 to 12 hours, which wasn't exactly easy. The 5 big IT companies, Tata Consultancy, Infosys, HCL Tech, Wipro, and Tech Mahindra, got rid of around 69,167 employees in the last fiscal year. And they're not done yet. Experts say these are the worst layoff years since the 2008 recession. Every Friday, we offer you an early peek at our weekend edition of Splainer, which drops on Saturday morning. It's filled with recommendations of where to go, what to listen to, and buying guides too. This week, we've got the best of the new music released around the world, so you can freshen up your playlist. And as always, our recommendations for what to watch over the weekend. First up is the album Right Place, Wrong Person from Kim Namjoon, who's better known as RM from BTS. This is his second solo album with 11 tracks that span a range of genres, from old school hip hop to city pop and folk. We most recommend checking out Lost, which comes with a really cool music video. Next, we have Outubro, which means October in Portuguese. Brazilian singer Milton Nascimento revisits his 1969 hit, this time in a collab with bassist Esperanza Spalding. It's a mid-tempo song that's languid, reflective, and updated to reflect contemporary blues. And finally, we have Pluto from Ravina. With Ravina's signature gentle voice and introspective lyrics, it makes for excellent background music when you're thinking deep thoughts. We have a much longer Spotify playlist with the best new global music. The link is in the description. Finally, here are the top 3 picks from our watch list for the weekend. Top of the list is Eric, which dropped on Netflix on Thursday because it has Benedict Cumberbatch, of course. It's a 6-episode mystery thriller set in 1980s New York. Cumberbatch plays a dad looking for his lost son with the help of a giant monster. Whoa. The reviews are upbeat, at least about the leading man, who is never not fascinating to watch, according to Collider, and we 100% agree. But our favorite take is from The Independent. It is a mystery with a twist, where the twist is more interesting than the mystery. Next up, Jim Henson Idea Man. This is a feel-good documentary on Jim Henson, the creator of The Muppets, the guy who changed TV for kids. You're mainly interested because it's directed by Oscar-winning filmmaker Ron Howard. Yup, the guy behind Da Vinci Code, A Beautiful Mind, and many more films. Reviewers say it is the most visually inventive documentary Howard has made. So how can it not be good? You can catch it on Hotstar. And finally, we have the latest installment of an iconic horror franchise, The First Omen. In case you don't know the premise, the Omen films are about the Antichrist, child of the devil himself, whose arrival spells the end of days. This one is the prequel to The Omen, the very first in the series starring Gregory Peck, that had baby Antichrist, called Damien, adopted by an American diplomat in London. This film is the backstory of how Damien was born. It hit theaters last month and is now available on Hotstar. That's all for now. Tune in for the next edition on Tuesday and catch up on the most important, interesting, and just plain weird stories out there. Don't forget to follow us so you don't miss out. You can also grab a free 300 rupee subscription to Splainer to get our daily news edition. The link is in the description. I'll see you next week.